Hello and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about whether or not King Edward VII of Great Britain had any secret illegitimate children. So King Edward VII of Great Britain was born on the 9th of November 1841. He was the second child and eldest son of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Now, it was no secret that King Edward VII loved sex. He was nicknamed Dirty Bertie and Edward the Caresser, and he had also had a special sex chair made for him so he could have threesomes in it. He had many mistresses, including Winston Churchill's mum and Alice Keppel, Queen Camilla's great-grandmother. At his coronation, he actually had a special pew just for his special ladies. Now, with all these mistresses, Edward must have had some illegitimate children running around the place, even though he didn't actually acknowledge any children from these relationships. But even though Edward never actually acknowledged any illegitimate children, it did not actually stop rumours going around saying that he had fathered between 14 and 17 illegitimate children. And apparently one of these illegitimate children lived in a small village in East Yorkshire. The country house Tranby Croft was home to one of King Edward's friends, Arthur Wilson. Edward often stayed at the Wilsons' house when he was Prince of Wales, and this home was actually best known for the Baccarat scandal in 1890. But was an illegitimate child of King Edward conceived and born in the house. So this child was said to be Anne Croft. She was born in 1896 and became an actress. She was also the mother of David Croft, who created the BBC series Dad's Army. Now, Anne was actually adopted. Her adoptive parents were Michael and Emma Croft. But Anne's biological mother is thought to be Muriel Wilson, the youngest daughter of Arthur Wilson. But really the only reason why people think that Edward and Muriel were Anne's parents was because they were rumoured to both have attended a play that Anne was in. But this kind of falls down slightly because King Edward actually died several years before Anne first took to the stage. But even though this proves that Edward did not see Anne on the stage, it does not disprove the fact that he could be her father. Now, there's also another supposed illegitimate child of King Edward that was apparently born at Tranby Croft. This time it was a son, and he had grown up in East Yorkshire and become a major in the army, being awarded the Distinguished Service Order during World War I. At the time, King Edward VII's legitimate son was on the throne as King George V. A taxi driver picked up the Major and his friends from Tranby Croft, taking them to Beverley. The taxi driver said that the Major's friends referred to the Major as if he was the King's brother. The Major then tipped the taxi driver £5, which would be about £330 today, and all of his friends done the same. The taxi driver had so much money after this one fare that he was able to buy a bus. Now, around the same time, a man was working on the roof at Tranby Croft. He looked down and saw a man walking in the garden and had a right shock because he thought that he was seeing the long dead King Edward VII. It is said that this man that the worker saw was the Major. Now, another child said to be King Edward VII's illegitimate daughter was Alice Keppel's daughter Sonia, Queen Camilla's grandmother. Though Diana Suami, who wrote the book Mrs. Keppel and Her Daughter, says that Sonia's biological father was definitely Alice's husband, George Keppel, because Sonia looked so much like him. But even though he was rumoured to have all these illegitimate children, no one has ever come forward to say that they gave birth to one of the king's children or that they were one of the king's illegitimate children. So what do you think? Do you reckon that there's some illegitimate descendants of King Edward VII running around the place? Or do you think that the people that I've mentioned in this video could definitely be his children? If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. you.